Joining me today is New Hampshire State Representative Mario Ratzki. And Mario, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're on the Public Highways and Public Works Committee.
Public Works and Highways.
Public Works and Highways. You know where I'm biased then toward these highways because I'm on them all the time. I want to talk about that committee, the work you're doing, and sort of a couple things intrigued me. One was the 10-year plan. And what I noticed, what was specifically omitted. There were a lot of little things that came in there, but one big thing was pushed out, and that was the rail corridor from Concord to Nashua. And I want to get your take.
From Concord to Boston, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
But within our 10-year plan,
ultimately.
Yes. Yeah. So I want to get your take from somebody sitting on the committee, hearing the testimony, and the discussion that happened at the committee level.
Okay, well, this of course happened in Public Works and Highways with our chairman Gene Chandler in charge. The Republicans in general are against rail, and I'm not going to even begin to examine why or anything. They have certain blinders about rail, period. But this was $4 million that was put in the capital budget by the governor. That was federal money. It could only be used for the Boston-Concord general transit area for rail studies. So the money could not be used for anything else. They decided, well, first in the committee we had probably a majority. The Democrats and a couple of Republicans would have joined together to include the rail money or to keep the rail money in the 10-year plan. What happened is that our committee chairman brought in a couple of extra people on the committee to replace people who weren't there normally, and that threw the vote for the rail into a tie vote, 10-10 vote, which meant that basically the capital budget would stay as it was. We couldn't. They didn't withdraw the money there in the committee. What happened is that when we got to the House floor, they introduced a floor amendment to withdraw that $4 million. And because the majority of the House is Republican, and because Gene Chandler is, of course, a very important member of the Republican hierarchy, they managed to pass that floor amendment, which withdrew the $4 million from the rail study.
Well, I take it you're very pro-rail.
I'm very pro-rail, and I think actually most people in my district are pro-rail, even though they're not directly connected to the rail.
What do you see as the benefits of extending the rail corridor from Boston up to Concord?
Well, first of all, I mean, if we could just start to expand it just to Nashua and Manchester to begin with. With Manchester, of course, there's the Manchester Airport, so that's a connecting link there. But it's also the fact that we're losing our young people here in New Hampshire. They're going away. They're going to Massachusetts, wherever they have more opportunities. I think we can bring them back with the rail. And if you go and walk around Manchester today, it's chock-a-block full of restaurants and venues for events and this and that. I think this would be very attractive to the young population of Massachusetts. Look at what's happened in Portland, Maine. If you walk around Portland, Maine, where there's a train that goes there from Boston, it's alive. It's just like a small New York.
What is it? Something about the train that makes the difference, or does Portland have other components? I mean, what is it about? I mean,
I think they're very similar kind of components. All the kind of New England towns. I think the attraction is in its historical kind of look and architectural look, and also the fact that there are some universities there as well and schools. I think this would also improve, I think, or attract more businesses to the area, to Manchester and Nashua and everything. So all in all, I think it would have been a good investment. This was money coming from the federal government, cannot be used for anything else, so that means we have to send the money back to the federal government now and say, no, we don't want it, which I think is ridiculous, So, next, this election will probably decide whether we get that money back next year
Right.
in the capital budget or not, obviously.
So I have to cut you off there. When we return, we're going to continue our conversation about rail and other highway issues. So please stay with us.